all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome to a terrific Thursday. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Steve Rhodes, your host of the Trader's Edge, and it is absolutely a thrill to be here with you. I hope you're off to a great start of your day. I know I am. You know why, folks, because we can go right to this place right here, right over my left-hand shoulder. That is my place of strength. Hopefully you've got not just a vision for what it is that you want to accomplish today, but you are putting yourself in a peak mental state of mind. And it is Thursday. That means, we play the opening. The opening that we play on Thursdays is really, it's the music behind that is music produced by a friend of mine, Earl Clue, for CBS Sports. And, it's always played during the Masters tournament. And this week we've got the PGA in town. They are playing just down the street out at Innisbrook. So it is a beautiful morning out there. I'd love to be out on the golf course today as well, playing in a tournament. What a great way to start your day. But thank you for starting your day with us, folks. If we just take a quick tour around the world here in the U.S., just see what these markets are doing. You've got the Dow up about 17 points or so, the ES Mini up a couple of points, NASDAQ up 8. That must mean Apple is continuing its lunar shot, bypassed the moon yesterday, and on its way to the next, who knows where it's going to next. And you've got the, now, a lot of folks did send me, and I want to thank you for everybody that sent me charts on where they believe that Apple was trading to, and I apologize for not being able to respond to you. Yesterday was a long day, put in 4 hours on radio, if you will. Well, 3 on radio and then 1 with my clients from 3 to 4 as I do each day. And today is another beautiful 3-hour day. I'll be with you for the next 2 hours while Tom is obviously still on vacation. And then we go to Kate Stalter. Kate will be with us from 11 to 12. Larry Pesavento doing the Futures Hour today from 12 to 1. 3 to 4, Ken Shreve. Basil Chapman is going to be in from 4 to 5. And then I'll knock Basil in off a third base. He'll probably be trying to steal home. I'll knock him in from 5 to 6. And so just simply a great lineup of talent today. Again, if we just take a quick tour around the world, well, let's see. Let's start with King Dollar. King Dollar down 19 ticks right now. Gold trading up $3. Silver up 8 cents. Over in Asia and Europe, a little interesting there because you've got the DAX is up 21, but the FTSE down 13. Some problems in the UK. We'll go see what the charts are telling us. You had the Nikkei up $72, again, continuing to power up there as the yen weakens. You had the Shanghai down 17 points. The Hang Seng was up 45. Our call number is 877-927-6648. And so before we go take a look at the charts, folks, you can join us on TigerTV, and we do appreciate everybody listening in to us on the radio. If you're on your way to work or maybe just getting ready to, start your day, thanks so much for listening. We do want you to have that opportunity to watch us on TigerTV, or maybe you'll hear something on the radio. You can always go watch the archive of this show. It is on Channel 9. And the reason you want to take a look at TigerTV is because I'm certain, I've got, we all need certainty in our life. I'm certain that I can teach you something about these markets, maybe something about these charting patterns here that you didn't realize. And soon, folks, you'll become a master. If you'd like to become a master, you can become a master of trading these patterns that are out there and understanding what's going on. And, folks, ultimately, the way to win the game of life. We're talking the game of life, folks. It's found in just simply one thing. Does that remind you of that movie with Billy Crystal and what was the name of that movie out there? What was the name of that guy? It was just one thing. Well, ultimately, the way to win the game of life, folks, it is found only in one thing, and that becomes our ability to choose meaning in any life circumstance. Think about that. What meaning do you give to each of those life circumstances? If you're trading these markets, I guess I know that you are giving meaning. You're giving me. We give meaning to candles, if you will, and it just simply boils down to our ability to choose meaning in any life circumstance. Folks, what you want to do is you want to become a master of meaning. When you become a master of meaning, you will master your life. So let's go take a look at these markets. Let's go see what it is that we've got going around here. What I've got on the screen here first for us to take a look at as we switch over is the euro. We're going to go take a look at the Queen, see what the Queen has in store for us. And the euro here, we've been talking about how the euro is making, well, a couple of patterns. It's got an ABC pattern. Let's go take a look at that. And, folks, an ABC is, this is like the ABCs. It's not kindergarten. This is serious stuff here. But what you'll see is that these markets, what they do is they breathe in pattern formation, if you will. And just like everything else in life. And our A point, when we're taking a look at any chart, is either going to be the top or the bottom. Just depends on which direction it is that you're looking for a pattern to complete. In this case here, the euro is moving down from where it started out in the 134 area, the actual high out there, February 24th, 1.34850. And then it makes a continued, you can see it just simply continues to make a beeline, if you will, in fact, all the way to the B point. How does that happen? Makes a beeline all the way down to the March 7th area when it gets down to 1.30957. Moves up for one day, has a pretty strong move, if you will, moves up into the March the 8th time frame, 1.329 even. And so you've got A to B equals C to D. So what we're talking about is the price move from your A to your B point is going to equal your C to D point. Now, there are times when you extend beyond that. It's 40 or 60% of the time. I think it's 60% of the time an A to B equals C to D will complete. The other 40% of the time, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. The other 40% of the time, it's going to do something different. When I say do something different, that means it's going to expand. It's going to expand maybe to a 1.272. Maybe it's going to expand to 1.618 A to B equals C to D. That's why when you're taking a look at, let me just get rid of this here, just clean up the chart. That's why when you're taking a look at my drawing of an A to B equals C to D, the very first line is that 1-to-1. It says there's a little D over here. Maybe you can see it. And then you're going to see another line down here. That next line is going to be an expansion of that, 1.272. And then the third and final is 1.618. Because when you do a 1.618 A to B equals C to D, folks, you usually, in this percentage is in the 90 percentile range, if you will usually do something different. Pull back, move sideways, whatever it is. And so when you see those in any of the charts that you're trading, if you get to 1.618 expansion, especially if candles are starting to get narrower and narrower, if you are starting to see volume come off, what you might want to do is start taking some money off the table, or certainly take a look at what the average true range is and let the market go ahead and take you out if it gets beyond just the normal daily volatility. So the euro is on its way down into this 1.28 area, and what it's got to get through, it's first trying to do a move of a move. It's inside the swing point. From February 16th, the swing point, folks, is where you see a market change in trend. In this case here, you had the market moving down. If you're following my cursor, moving down, in essence, from February 9th into the session of February 16th, and then it starts heading up, makes its next swing point right in here in the February 24th area. What you like to do is you like to take the swing point high. February 24th got up to 1.34850. 1.34843. So I did pick the right swing point. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell. And look, it's not about being exact, folks. Let me tell you, one of the best secrets is you're just looking to be in a certain range, relative range, if you will. We're not about being exact around here or perfection. This is perfection when you're in a range, folks. So don't look for the exact tick. It does happen, and it always amazes me, but it does not always happen. So where is the euro? Where is the queen setting sail to? Well, the queen really is setting sail. You take it the longer-term picture. Longer-term picture is going to be where you see that next major real swing point down in the January 13th time frame. And the euro absolutely headed into this range right here, meaning the 0.618 retracement and a 1-to-1 A to B equals C to D. Let's go take a look at then the king, right? So we've looked at the queen. Let's go take a look at king dollar, see what the king is doing. Now, let me just draw this here for you. That way you can see exactly how this works. You can set your tool up. Now, when we're taking a look at ABCs, we take a look at the dollar index. We know the dollar index had a very strong candle as it came off of its session low going back to February 29th. It created that bullish engulfing candle. It engulfed 3 trading sessions, so that told you that was sending signals out. It was Paul Revere riding through the alleys in Boston, just simply calling out that the king dollar was ready to move north, if you will, ready to get to higher price. Certainly it did that. It moves up into a price point, moves into the candle here of February 16th. This candle, also a bearish engulfing. So that was telling you you had some resistance up towards the top. It gets into that candle. It backs off for a day, and that created our C point. Now, what's always important when you're taking a look at your ABCs of charting, folks, is you want to take a look at what that retracement level is in that B to a C, that retracement that you've got. What you're looking at, a normal retracement, just like it would be normal for you to be in Clearwater, come up to 601 Cleveland Street. That's our address, and then you would come up to Suite 618. It's that point 618 that is a normal retracement area. When you only back off to that point 382, folks, that tells you you're going to do more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals C to D. What is King Dollar doing here right now? Well, King Dollar completed the first aspect of an ABC pattern. It completed the 1-to-1 move, and as it did that, if you come straight across, okay, and I'm going to back this up a bit here. So if we take a look at this candle, you can see that this is a swing point high, this January 13th area. Now, let me go ahead and draw a line from the bottom of that so that you can see where we are at. Right now, where King Dollar's at, and you can see that King Dollar is still above that candle, still trading into that candle. You would get in there, and you would expect to back off a bit, just as you have when you've also completed the 1-to-1 A to B equals C to D. How's that for going to school, folks? 877-927-6648. Give me a call. Would love to hear from you. We'll be right back, folks.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume and the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. And the movie was City Slickers, and it was Curly Washburn who, made that one thing, folks. So just that one thing. Now let's go take a look at that one thing over in Germany. Let's go take a look at the DAX. You've got the DAX trading up 23 points right now out at 71.02. And what the DAX has done, we were talking about that A to B equals C to D pattern. Well, if you take a look at the DAX, you go all the way back to September 12th, 2011. That was its A point. Its B point was right up here on October 28th. Our B points in many of our indexes, ETFs or what have you, is the October 27th area. DAX then goes ahead and pulls back into November 25th, just as our markets did, and it then completes an A to B equals C to D. And look, folks, it completes it right here, February 8th, February 9th. It completes that and just simply moves sideways, moves slightly up, moves sideways, builds some cause, if you will, in this area. And now it is continuing up, and it is continuing to it's past the 0.786 retracement. That's going all the way back to its May 2nd highs. We talked about our May 2nd highs. We've talked about how the DAX has been weak as far as the indice, which you'll also notice when we go take a look at the small caps, very similar to our small caps, because, and when I say weak, just using the frame of mind of price compared to swing points that are out there. May 2nd is a real key swing point day. In our case here, the small caps are not even up there. I believe the small caps are above the 0.786 retracement, but we'll go confirm that. We'll take Yeah, they are, because they're at the 84% area. In this case here, what you see, the DAX is above the 0.786 area. That retracement going from the high of May 2nd in 2011 all the way down to the low on September the 12th of 2011. So what does that mean? Where does the DAX headed to? Well, its next swing point is right here on July 26th. The low on that is 73.02. You're trading out at 71.02. That's the next area that it wants to tackle. But what you did have here in the DAX, and let me just go ahead and I'll draw that pattern in, you certainly did have a Gartley pattern that formed. And these Gartley patterns are great both from the standpoint of a trade that sets up and works and a trade that does not, meaning that there are no failures, there are only outcomes. And that's really how you should be handling life. That's how you should be handling trading, because what you're doing is you're just simply trying to get a probability edge. And that's why we use money management. That's why we use stops. That's why we understand average daily volatility, because what you're using, what you're looking for are patterns. And it can be anything that you're using, anything that you're trading. You're looking for patterns that work. These patterns work 70% of the time. I say they work 100% of the time. Why? Because when they fail, if you will, when the outcome is that the pattern doesn't work, then what you can do is it tells you where it is likely going to go to. In this case here, the interesting thing behind the DAX, when you have a 0.786 Gartley pattern that fails, and right now this has failed because you've gapped up. But, when you take a look at this 0.786 area that you're in, you actually gapped up. If we go ahead and we blow up the DAX, now you're going to see a couple of gaps in here. You're going to see the first gap on the DAX as March 8th to the March 7th to March 8th. You've got a gap there. You then have a gap inside the DAX here from the March 12th to the March 13th area. Let's see, is there a gap yesterday too? Let's see. The high on the 13th, folks, was 70.20.04. Low yesterday, 70.28. You had a third gap. Now, this was not an exhaustion gap. And what you want to do pay attention to is you want to be paying attention to 2-3 gap plays, but that third gap has got to be larger both in price and in percentage in order to have what would be an exhaustion gap. That would tell you that price has moved up as high as it's going to go, and it's likely going to come back to its first gap. So you've got gaps on the way up inside indexes, okay, and that tells you that there's some strength out there. And you can see gaps inside the DAX here, quite a bit, if you will. But those gaps, they still are communicating to you. So when you have a 0.786 Gartley failure, not only are you going to go do a test, a move of a move, in this case here, get back to the May 2nd area. What this is really saying, if I could go ahead and compress this chart here, what it's really going to do, it's going to set up a 1.272 butterfly. So when you have a Gartley that fails, a 0.786 Gartley that fails, that says you're likely going to be heading to a 1.272 expansion. That would take the DAX up into the 8,300 area. Makes sense when you take a look at some of the things that are going on inside our market, with one exception, with one exception, today being a major Bradley turn date. But as Larry and I were discussing on Tom's show last night from 5 to 6, also when these don't work, what happens is sometimes those patterns can invert. So in order for the DAX to do its job and get up to a 1.272 butterfly, you're going to need to see that Bradley, the key Bradley date, also invert. 877-927-6648. When we get back, we'll go see how these markets are going to pop. Not a huge pop out there, but we'll be right back, folks.
Folks, turns out my best student became my best teacher. Steve Rhodes absolutely raised my standards, and I'll guarantee he'll raise yours.
Thanks, Tom. What I've learned is that if you want more, you must become more. And that transformation, folks, that occurs the moment you decide to become a master. Now, the quickest way to mastery is through immersion. And for 2 solid days in Denver, Boston, and Tampa, I'll create a new standard of wealth for those few trader investors who have a burning desire to succeed. At my Master Trader course, I'll teach you how to create the ultimate money machine. These are the best kept secrets in the business. Roadblocks, folks. Dabblers give up when they first appear. Stressors last just a little bit longer, but masters expect roadblocks and achieve extraordinary results when they bust right through them. I have all the benefit of knowing the type of wealth creation that I can generate for you. You don't. That's why I'm making this unconditional money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're not satisfied with my Master Trader course, I'll refund every penny. That's right. I take all the risk and you get all the benefit. Go to the homepage at tfn.com and sign up today.
In the world of financial markets, there's a new player in town with an exciting new way to trade the markets. Nadex now offers binary options as well as bull spreads in a wide range of indices along with commodity and forex markets. With as little as $100, you can gain access to a new way to trade global financial markets while guaranteeing that your risk will always be capped. Nadex allows you to multiply your trading opportunities in ways never imagined before and access markets you once thought were out of reach. With short-term trading opportunities available, including binary options expiring each hour the market is open, Nadex allows you to take advantage of a variety of market conditions regardless of volatility or market direction. Now is the time to take advantage of this exciting new market. Don't let this trading opportunity pass you by. Open your account today by clicking on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Nadex, a better way to trade. In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
We're off to the races, and it looks like it is water ski Thursday because you've got a lot of flat markets out there. You've got the Dow up 2 points. S&P's not up a full point. The composite up 3. You've got the Russell up half a point. The New York Stock Exchange up 6. The NDX only up 2. How can that possibly be? Only up 2? Let's go see what is Apple doing. Well, Apple up $4 right now, trading out at $594.50 or so. If you take a look at what else is on the move, what's moving, what's grooving, you got Siemens, ticker symbol SI, that's up $2.48. Veeco Instruments, they are VECO, they're up $2. Intermune, ITMN, that's up $1.96. Coffee Holdings, JVA, up $1.77. Union Pacific, UNP. Union Pacific up, well, they were up. There we go. $1.28. Honda Motors, they're up $1. Level 3 Communication, they're up $1. If we take a look at what's not grooving to the downside, apparently you're not buying much in the way of Guess jeans or Guess clothing. GES, the ticker symbol, they're down $3. Vera Bradley, you're not buying purses either. I think that's mostly purses, isn't it, Vera Bradley? Vera Bradley, they're down a couple of bucks. Joy Global down a couple of bucks. Amazon down $1.30. Assurant, what is AIZ, is the ticker symbol. They are down $1.13. Sandridge Partners, PER, they're down $1. Cena Corp, they're off $1 or so. Tiffany, what's the deal here? You folks aren't out there buying that Tiffany silver? They're down, the blue blocks, they're down 83 cents right now. 877-927-6648. And so let's go take a look at the New York Stock Exchange here. That's what I've got up on my chart. This is the daily chart of the New York Stock Exchange. What you're seeing there in blue, I've got a number of different candle patterns that I've identified. And what you are seeing here, folks, is you are seeing a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern, just as we were looking at inside the DAX just before we went to break. You've got a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern. Important to note, because you do have this Bradley turn date that is in here, and this chart here, the New York Stock Exchange, is a better breadth of the overall stock market versus just simply taking a look at the NDX, which is pretty much looking at Apple, if you will. Or taking a look at the Dow, you're only looking at 30 stocks. This here, you've got the entire breadth of maybe 3,000 stocks that are, in essence, trading on a daily basis. And so being at a 0.786 Gartley sell does say that you just have to respect it, be cautious, and what you're looking for from a bullish standpoint, you're looking for this area here to be broken, just so we were taking a look at the DAX. Why? Because when a 786 Gartley fails, what it will turn into is not just a move. That's going to be the first area. In this case here, you would be going back to that May 2nd. So remember, we're taking a look at weakness and strength. So the overall market, the overall general market, still trading below May 2nd. Yet if we go take a look at the Dow, we go take a look at the NDX, even the S&P that now has gotten over that area, what it's telling you is the breadth of the stocks are not keeping up with maybe a few, and we can go take a look at the IBD list. I think I've got most of the IBD stocks out here, the IBD 50. We can take a look at those as well. So you certainly want to respect this area, be careful of this area. I do believe that, we're going to see some continued movement to the upside. But yesterday we did not get the follow through that we really should have received. Yes, it should have rested a little bit, but we should have gotten a little bit more follow through than we did see in the markets. Let's go. Here's one of the things I want to, pass on to you. I think that the most important thing that you can do when it comes to trading or business or anything that you do in life, you've heard me ask this question before. You'll always hear me ask this question, but it's understanding what business you're in. And the reason is because you can go back and you can take a look at history, and that usually is defined by the questions that you ask yourself. You see, each of us have these controlling questions. And what I mean by that, because we talk a lot about Apple. So what lessons could you learn from Apple by understanding what business you're in? When they started out, when Steve Jobs, but let's say when Steve Jobs came back into the fold, what was the turning point with regard to Apple? Was it do you think that it was the iPod? How many of you out there believe that it was the iPod? I can see you if you're raising the hands. If you're raising your hand, say aye. I can see all the way out there. Well, absolutely, I believe. Now, do you know when the iPod was introduced? Can you remember back that far? 2001, I believe, was, I don't have the exact date, but it was in 2001. I think it was late in 2001 when Steve Jobs was probably in October at their normal conference is in the October time frame, and so probably was in the October time frame of 2001 when the iPod was introduced. Now, when I ask you that question, what business are you in, who was it that you thought of when it came to music before Apple? Because were you really thinking about Apple when it came to music before the iPod was introduced? Absolutely not. And so Apple took a look at, what business, sometimes you say, what business are you in? Oftentimes you should be saying, what business should you be in? Well, think about this. Take Sony Corporation, because the answer to the question is, before you were taking a look at Apple, it was really Sony products. It was Sony that was powering through, whether it was their television sets that they had, absolutely, some of the best television sets that were out there. When it came to Walkmans, how many of you had a Walkman out there? Whether it was, the big headphones on your ears, maybe it was just simply, how about you had the traveling CD player that you used to listen to music with? If you used to travel like I did, we'd fly all over the place, and I remember having to, carry not just my briefcase and a little laptop, wasn't really that little, laptop computer, but your case of CDs, your CD player, just simply so that you would have something to take a look at. Well, do you think that Sony was asking the question, what business are you in? Because they absolutely were the leader. They were in everybody's home. They were the leader on the music side. Sony was already inside the music industry. There were already devices that were out there that were starting to come out as MP3 players. But did Sony ask the question, well, not only what business were they in, but what business should they be in? Well, if you take a look at the stock, what you'll see is they didn't do that, because you had the stock, you had Sony trading up in the 2000 time frame, up in the $157 area. Right now you've got Sony trading out at $21.59. So here is where, you're taking a leader, if you will, and they had every opportunity to not allow Apple, if you will, to get to where it did. Do you think Sony had cell phones out there, didn't they, folks? They absolutely did have some cell phones. So it's so important. And that's why I want to be able to teach you that such an empowering question, of what business should I be in or what business am I in? And it really relates to trading. It really relates to money management. You've got a lot of folks, you take a look at what goes on television, or you hear on CNBC or any place else, you hear about everybody being on the sidelines, everybody being afraid, if you will, to get back in. Have you missed a move or what have you? Folks, when you just step back, and the question is, the past does not equal the future unless you want it to. And so you shouldn't and so what does it really matter what happened yesterday? These markets are going to move. You just take a look. Here's Sony. You can take a look at any market. The markets are going to continue to move. All you need to do is you need to understand some sound money management strategies, because you're not really in the business of trading. You're in the business of managing money. And it's so important just simply to be able to ask that question. I can take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft. Take a look at Microsoft as an example. And I shared this as we did our Go Long America tour. And I model myself after Bill Gates, at least when it comes to the thinking process of asking empowering questions. Because when you take a look at Bill Gates had an empowering question, folks. And you need to have an empowering question, because that's what you continue to do on a daily basis. When you're looking at stocks, you're asking yourself questions. What should you do, with this market? What should you do with the Dow being down 16 points? Is that enough of a pullback to go ahead and take a long entry if you, believe that the Dow is going to be moving up? So you're always asking questions. Bill Gates' question was, how could he be the intelligence that controlled all computers? That was his question. So, each day when he went to work or when he went home at night, his entire thought process was, how can he create the intelligence behind all the computers? And because of that, he was smart enough to go out there. He didn't develop the software. He didn't develop the first application. Yes, he could write code, and yes, he spent more than 10,000 hours in the labs, if you will. Was breaking into labs, if you will, because he was interested in doing that. But his vision wasn't to be a great software programmer. His vision, if you will, was to be the intelligence that operated those computers. So think about like this. If that was your driving question, and you had all these different computer manufacturers out there. You had K-Pro and, and IBM had just come out, and, a number of other folks that were out there. I can't even remember all the computers that were out. Victor Computers, you name it. And what Bill Gates did was he went out there. The smartest thing he did, folks, was he went out and licensed the software to IBM to stick that on every computer. Think about this. As IBM, you think of IBM in a hardware business. I mean, IBM was in so many businesses, but the smartest move that Bill Gates made, and think about this. I want you to think about that empowering question, that empowering focus of what business are you in? So Bill Gates is driven by how can he be the intelligence that runs all computers? What do you think he missed out on by having just that question? Now, look, he's one of the richest guys in the world. But I want you to understand the importance of what you focus on, the importance of questions in your life. Take a look at it like this when you take a look at Bill Gates. He missed out on the internet. He missed out on the Google opportunity, right? Google's not software that runs your system. That's not an operating system on your system, right? So because Bill Gates was out there and focused, if you will, and here's the most powerful, richest, this company had the reach into every single computer that was out there, everyone except for the Apple computers. And even then it had to reach there because it created Windows, which emulated, the operating system that ran on the Apple computer. So that's why it's so important to be able to answer and have an empowering question. But you got to also be careful of that empowering question, right? Because in Bill Gates' case, he wasn't thinking about the internet. He's been playing catch up, if you will, ever since. Yes, he's the intelligence behind all of the PCs, or most of the PCs that are out there. So anyways, just thought that I would share that with you, because I think Sony, I think Microsoft, I think that whole process can be so helpful to empower you to make whatever decisions it is that you are faced with in life, folks. Because when we started out the show today, what I was talking about was becoming a master. And it's so important to become a master of anything that you want in life, because, and hopefully you've gone out and you've watched that movie In Time. Because when you think about it, the question you always have to ask yourself is, when now the time for you to take action? Whatever it is. If you thought about starting a business, had one of our Tigers give me a call yesterday. He was taking a look at a business plan, and just wanted to get some input, some advice, some thoughts. As I took a look at just some quick financial information, gave him some ideas that he, as he said, he had never even thought about taking a look at. I always like to be able to take a look at things differently, be able to step back. And so, and for me, the motivation has always been a sense of urgency. And the question is when are you going to have a sense of urgency with whatever it is that you want to master in life? It's why I'm so looking forward to coming out to Denver next Friday and Saturday. That's going to be that's March, March 23rd and 24th, holding a master trader course, because for 2 solid days, we'll be immersed into taking a look at what goes on in the mind and how to take advantage of that, the right money management systems, how to trade these markets, different patterns that are out there, some of the tricks and tools that I use and look at. And you can join us out in Denver as well, folks. That's again next Friday and Saturday. You can join us in Tampa on April 13th and 14th, again a Friday and Saturday. Boston on the 27th and 28th. And look, folks, it's the easiest decision, because you are the one that's going to make the decision whether or not you think what it is that I teach you and train you is worth it. Because if it's not, that's why you've got an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'm certain I know what it is that I can teach you. You don't. But if you go ahead and you sign up and you show up for the course and you don't think that you got your money's worth, you don't have to pay a single penny. What other opportunities do you have in life if you wanted to be able to understand and play this money game and put the right tools in place in order to be able to, take the I'm going to make the investment you. It's really that simple. Anyways, if we take a look at these markets, again, really relatively flat out here. That's why I'm stalling, if you will. The markets are flat. Let's go take a look at what's moving and what's grooving out there. Let's go take a look at individual stocks. So let's look at the stock that is up the most right now, dollar-wise. You've got Scholastic Corp, the ticker symbol on that. It's like going back to school. So let's go take a look at that. You've got SCHL. Well, that makes sense. As the ticker symbol, that has gapped up today. Let's go take a look and see what this is trading into. What's the news? What is it? Earnings. It says mixed earnings. Q3 rose 22% year over year. That doesn't sound mixed to me. That sounds pretty good. Trading out at $39.57 with volume, folks. Absolutely with volume. You've done 382,000 shares today. Last time you had volume on this stock, you did 621,000 on January the 9th. So let's go ahead and pull this back, see where we're trading. Looks like it might be up above all-time highs. Let's go ahead and put this on a weekly chart. And, yep, on a weekly chart, looks like the high out here. No, the all-time high on this stock is right here. It's November 2007. Got up to a high of $40 even. What did it get up to today? It got up to, where's the high out here? $40.17. It did hit a new all-time high. $40.17. That is from Scholastic Corporation. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
Yeah, I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow off 10. Everything else is flat out there. And let's go out to California. Let's go to our man Carlos. Carlos, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Thank you. Good morning.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Buenos dias, my friend.
Oh, muy buenos dias. I can see you're learning fast.
That's right. Rapid. Yes, absolutely. They wanted to take a look at TZA. Tell me what you're doing and how I can help you this morning.
Okay. This is what I have done. I already have 35 shares of TCA.
Okay.
It's scout again. And I'm in, let me see the price exactly. Actually bought it early today.
Okay.
And I'm in at 1829.
1829, okay.
Yes.
Let me see if I get my keyboard here to work. It would be nice. There we go. Okay, so TZA. So I'm going to ask you the next most important question because I can't get my keyboard here. What is going on? What is your stop?
Okay, my stop is exactly at 1745.
Okay, so let's first go just simply take a look at the money management aspect of it. Then we can come back and take a look at the trade, maybe where it's going to, because to me, the first most important aspect of getting into the trade here, let's see if I can get my keyboard to work now, TZA. That's what we're doing. And, folks, what I'm doing is I'm going over to the position size calculator, the money management system that I've created that all of my clients have access. You can have access to it for 30 days. It is on the TFNN homepage in the carousel over in the left-hand area. And in this case here, I'm just simply going to put in a dollar amount of capital that's out there. And so TZA has a average daily noise, average daily volatility over the last 10 days of 88 cents. Okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So 88 cents. So if you're in at 1829, let's see, what is I got to do the math here real quickly. Let me just see. So I'm going to have to pull up my iPhone to do this kind of math so I do it correctly. So 1829, because we might have you just adjust your stop a bit just so you wouldn't get knocked out because of daily volatility. All right, so 1829 minus 17, or at least I want to be able to teach this to you, and then you use the tool however you want. So your stop is 84 cents away, okay, from you know where you entered. And the average daily noise, just normal noise from top to bottom, is actually 88 cents. So you could actually be right on the trade and have the stock trade down 88 cents today, get knocked out of your position, only to have it then go in your direction. You're following along with that?
Yeah. Well, actually, the only reason I put the stop right there is because 1776 is exactly the lowest price we have since the move down on my weekly chart.
Yes, and I absolutely understand that. You know, I mean, going to take a look at charts and trying to identify, you know, where it should stop, if you will, you know, where the lowest price might be, and what I would call a logical area makes all of the sense in the world. I mean, absolutely. You know, we can go to the chart, we can take a look at that. But what I want to maybe pass on to you and have you consider is that if over the last 10 days, and I'm just using the average, if over the last 10 days on average from top to bottom it's moved 88 cents, and in your case here, your stop is 84 cents away, the point I'm really trying to make is you could be right on the trade, but just simply because of the daily noise, it just simply took you out.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I understand.
Okay, so you're right there. Now, do me a favor. Stay on to the next show if you can. Hang on to the next show, and we can finish it up. Can you do that for us?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, thank you.
All right, so stay on. You got to listen to some nice music for about 6-7 minutes. Folks, thanks so much for being here, and have yourself a great Thursday.